Chapter 16. Only Ignorance. I cannot say how long I was sick. Our doctor, Mr. Bond, came to examine me daily. One day I was bled as a part of my treatment. John held a bucket to collect the blood. I felt so weak. I almost thought I would die, and I guess everyone shared my feelings. Ginger as well as Merrylegs had been shifted to another stable as the fever had made me so sensitive that the slightest sound disturbed my sleep. Joe's father, Thomas Green, came one night to help John give me some medicine. They waited to check if my body accepted the medicine they had given me. As Thomas and John sat silently on a bench, Thomas broke the silence between them. "I do wish you would say a kind word to our poor Joe," he said in a low voice. Then he slowly continued, "Joe feels miserable. He can neither smile nor eat a meal. He does realize that it was entirely his fault, although he did try to do the best he could. He feels petrified to think that if at all Beauty dies, not only would he feel guilty for the rest of his life, but no one would ever speak to him again. I feel so bad for him. John, Joe is not a bad child." It took some time for John to respond. "I do know that Joe did not intend to harm Beauty. Thomas and I do think Joe is a good boy. But please try to understand me. Beauty is as dear to me as my own child. It deeply hurts me to see him in this state," John said. "But I will try to say a kind word to Joe tomorrow, if Beauty shows signs of recovery. That is," he added. "Well, thank you, John," said Thomas. "I am happy you agree that Joe meant no harm and that it was only ignorance on his part," he concluded. This was when John reacted in a voice that was very usual to me. "Only ignorance?" cried he. "How can you call it only ignorance when ignorance is almost the synonyms to a weakness? Ignorance plays the most mischief in this world. People feel it is alright to say that they made a mistake due to a lack of knowledge." Then he went on to quote some examples, and although I did not know the people he was talking about, what he said made perfect sense. "I don't think Martha Mulwash intended to kill the baby when she gave it an overdose of a pacifying syrup, but the baby did die for no mistake of its own, and Martha was tried for murder. If a woman does not know what is good for a child and what isn't, she must not nurse it," exclaimed John. Bill Starkey was another ignorant fellow who thought that his idea of frightening his little brother by running after him in a ghost attire was a harmless prank. But the poor child was petrified into fits, and the effect the fits had on his brain has permanently reduced him into a vegetative state, said John with pain in his voice. Although I did not hear the rest of their conversation as I fell asleep, I was often reminded of John's words when I saw more of this world in which there was no death of ignorance.